everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to cook something that you either really like it or you really hate it, and that is beef liver. I love it. So I'm going to cook this for my son and myself, and the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to flour it and fry it in oil, and then I will make a gravy and smother it with onion and serve it over mashed potatoes. And so I want to get started and get this cooked. I have the oil in my pan already, and I've got my potatoes cooking. So I'm going to heat the oil up. But while it's heating, then I'm going to flour this and get it ready to go in the oil when the oil gets hot. I almost feel like the majority of people do not like liver. I have already salted this. Liver is very, very fragile. It will tear real easily with you, but I want to get it coated in flour. This is self-rising flour, by the way, that I'm using. I'm not using all-purpose. I'm doing self-rising. I love beef liver. I think really as a whole, there's not a lot of people that like it. Of course, you can't eat it real often. It's not good for you to eat it real often because I think it's pretty high in cholesterol. But it's a great blood builder. If you've got low blood, it's a good way to build your blood. It's a small piece. I called my son a while ago just to make sure, because I thought this sure is a lot of liver for me to have to eat. But I thought he liked liver, but I wanted to confirm that. So I called him and he said, "Yes, ma'am, I love liver." So I told him, I said, well, I'm going to cook some and then I'll run a plate down to you when I get through with it. Okay, I'm going to turn my heat down to about a medium, and I'll go ahead and put my liver in, let it start frying. This cooks really fast. You can't leave liver in the grease too long because it'll get too hard. Okay, I'm going to turn it. It smells good. I have cooked liver before without frying it. Just grill it in a pan and put your onions on top of it. It's really delicious that way too, to just kind of pan sear it. I'm going to take these little giblets up. I'm not going to put a paper towel on my platter here because I'm going to make a gravy, and the gravy has the oil in it, so it will be okay. I'm going to go ahead and take this up. Now, if I were not putting it back into a gravy, of course, I would put it on a paper towel lined plate, and I would also blot the grease off of it. You can see I don't have a lot of oil in my pan. It don't take a lot. It's not like I'm deep frying it. I just want to brown it. I've got my potatoes cooking back there, and I think they probably are done. Let me try one and see. Oh yeah, that's done. It's very soft. I'm going to turn the potatoes off. Okay, I'm going to take the liver up, and then I'll make my gravy and smother it in the gravy. I think I'll pour up just a little bit of the grease. I won't need that much oil, so I'll do just about like this. Then I'm going to add my flour. Just sprinkle that in on my grease. And okay, I just leave the tidbits from the oil I just left in that. And I'm going to add my water. I'm going to take these pieces out that are really dark. I don't want that in my gravy. Those are pieces of the breading that came off and has cooked too much. It's burned it. Turn my heat down. I will probably need to salt this. Yeah, it's got to have some salt. Okay. I will add my liver back to this. I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Stir that around. And now I will place my onion on top, which I have my onion cut, and so I'm just going to break it apart. I've got it sliced. Okay, and I'll put a lid on this and let this simmer for a little bit. And while that's simmering, I will mash my potatoes. I have taken 3 of my yeast rolls out of the freezer that I had baked, pre-baked, and put in the freezer. And so I'll be cooking these and including with my meal, but I'm not going to bake them yet. The first thing I'm going to do is drain the water off of my potatoes. The way I like to make my mashed potatoes, excuse me, I put butter in it and I put sour cream. So I want to get some butter to go in. I'm going to put a 1/2 stick, and I just want to stick that butter underneath the potatoes and let it melt it. Okay, I'm going to start mashing my potatoes. You can whip these with a mixer if you prefer your potatoes to be real creamy, but I like to use a potato masher because I like for it to have a little bit of texture left to it. So I'm just going to mash them. My butter is just about completely melted. I've got some water getting hot. I'm going to drop some spears of broccoli. It's frozen broccoli, but anyway, I'm going to cook some of that for a green vegetable. Okay, now I'm going to put some sour cream into my potatoes. And I want a fairly generous amount. Oh, this is going to be so good. I can hardly wait. Okay, that looks great. Let's check the liver. Oh my goodness. That looks so good. My onions are getting tender. Oh, that will be absolutely delicious if you love liver. Oh, it's so good. Okay, I'm going to put the lid back on and let it continue to simmer. I'll get my broccoli, put it in my water that's boiling back there. It's just about ready to drop my broccoli in. I'm going to preheat my oven to put my rolls in, and supper will be ready in just a few minutes. Okay, my oven has preheated, and so I'm going to stick my rolls in the oven. I'm going to put my broccoli in the water. It's boiling. And by the time those two things get through, it will be time to eat. My Lily Bell went to the beauty shop today, didn't you, baby? She had a haircut. You want to show everybody how pretty you are? Look here. Show them. Show them how pretty you are. Say, I'm a pretty girl. I am a pretty girl. I went to the beauty shop and got my hair cut and got a bath and had my toenails trimmed. Didn't you? Yes, she did. Okay, stay down. Stay down. I'll give you a little bit of an update on what's happening with me. The hospital in Jacksonville, Florida called me yesterday, MD Anderson, and they have me set up to have my consultation visit the 13th of April. I will meet the doctor that day, and I don't know, when we'll have surgery or whatever. The girl said probably it usually took about a week, depending on the surgeon's schedule. I'm not sure what the surgeon is going to suggest, but in my mindset, I'm thinking of having a double mastectomy with reconstruction surgery. So I'll just have to wait and talk with her and see what her feeling is on it. I've had trouble with my knee. I have osteoarthritis with bone spurs, and I have gone through the process of having the hyaluronic acid injections, which is Roostercomb, and it's been tremendous. It's given me such relief, but it's starting to wear off, and I can't have that but only every 6 months. So I went today to see about having the steroid shot put in. And the young doctor that met with me, he was very young. I had never seen him, and he was going to give me the injection. And he cleaned my knee, cleaned the area, and they do this under a live x-ray. And so he says, okay, I'm going to wash your knee. And so he took a wipe and he cleaned my knee. And then he went to put the wipe in the trash, and he says, well, what's been going on with you? Anything real exciting within the last week? And I was lying there, and I said, well, yeah, I've been diagnosed with breast cancer this past week. And he just stopped in his tracks, and he said, I am so sorry. And then he came over and he looked at me and he said, you know, steroid is an immune suppressant. And I said, no, I didn't know that. And he said, yes, it lowers your immunity. And he said, do you still want to follow through with this? He said, if you want it, I'll give it to you. He said, but with cancer, he said, it does suppress your immunity. And I said, well, gosh, because the steroids last 3 months, right? And he said, that's right. And I said, ooh, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do that. And he said, my advice would be to not do it. And I said, okay, I think I'll pass on it then. I won't have it done. And this young man, to look at him, and I heard him out in the hallway whenever I was in a room, and he and the girls, and they were laughing and talking and just, you know, having such a good time. And he just looked like such a kid. And he looked at me, though, and he said, do you mind if I pray for you? And I said, I would love for you to pray for me. And he took my hand, and this young man prayed the most beautiful, beautiful spiritual prayer. I mean, it was so sweet and so beautiful, and I was so moved by it. It was a very mature prayer. It was not something that he was just grabbing words. And I left there and I cried coming home. Not about the cancer, but about, you know, the Lord says that He will speak in a still small voice. And I feel like He has been speaking to me, and I feel like that's why, I'm sorry, that's why I feel like I've been at such peace about it. But when I left there, I said, Lord, this is why I came today. It was not to get an injection, but it was for this young man to pray over me. And it gave another prayer warrior for me. And he told me when I left, I hugged him. And he said, I'm going to be praying for you. And he says, and we're going to have prayer warriors praying for you. I was so moved by that. I cannot tell y'all. It's been incredible. I was in CVS the other day, a week ago tomorrow, to get my shingle shot. And a woman walked past me, a customer, and she had on a t-shirt. And as she walked past, I looked at her, her backside as she was walking, and her t-shirt had the scripture on it. I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. And I feel like, you know, I mean, God speaks to us in so many different ways. And I feel like He was saying to me, I knew you before you were you. And I've got you. And I'm going to bring you through this. And it was that was so sweet to me. I appreciate everybody's prayers. I do. I covet your prayers. And I thank you for each and every one of them. And I thank you for the love that so many of them has expressed to me. And my friends, oh my goodness, my friends here at home, they have just poured out so much love to me. But I didn't mean to get emotional on you, because honestly, I am doing really good. Emotionally, I'm doing super good, but it's just the Spirit of God that just, it moves me so. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that much, and I will let you know when I know something further. But thank you all for supporting me. I pray that you'll continue to lift me up in prayer, and continue to lift my friends, Janice and Daryl. We'll be putting Kenny to rest tomorrow. But anyway, he was ready to go. And so he's with the Lord. And we're all good with that. So anyhow, my broccoli is done. And so I'm going to drain this and put some butter in it. And then I'm going to dip up some. The liver and onions are ready. And so I'm going to do a taste test for you. So let me drain the broccoli, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have taken up the liver, and so now I'm going to pour the gravy over that. I think I will stop with that. This is a very cheap meal that I have prepared. Beef liver is very inexpensive. I paid about $2 for this pack of liver. You can't beat that. If you like liver. If you don't like liver, there's no point in spending the money, huh? Okay, the broccoli is done. The rolls are done. And I'm gonna plate up some of this. Doesn't that look yummy, yummy, yummy? Take a close-up look at that. That is gonna be absolutely delicious. Okay, I'm gonna start with my mashed potatoes, and I'm gonna get me a slab of this liver. I think I'll take that small piece as well. Some broccoli, and to top my potatoes off with the gravy. And I also want some of these onions in it. This is going to be so delicious. Okay, now for a taste test. This liver cuts so easily, it is super tender. That is really good. A bite of the potatoes. I'm telling you, I cannot imagine people that do not love beef liver. So, to those of you who do, cheers. It is delicious. To those of you who do not, I'm so sorry. You're missing out. But anyway, I hope all of you have a great rest of the day, whatever time of day it is. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and support me. Give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, click the bell, and share it with somebody. Thank you again for your prayers. And until the next time, this is Beba saying, may the Lord bless and keep you and your family safe. And until we meet again, God bless you and have a great day. I'll see you really soon. You take care. Bye.